Hello, my creative friends. Jessica Sanders here, colormecreativeart.com. Thank you so much for joining me. Today, I want to share with you a technique that I saw Little Raven Ink do on her YouTube channel, and I will put the link down below so you can go and check that out, of making just a really nice floral. You could do it with anything, but she used a floral, and it was so cool looking and very colorful and wonderful, and so I just wanted to try it out. So I've got my Jane Davenport watercolor journal here, and a lot of my Jane Davenport products, as well as, find my page here. There we go. I've got a Sharpie white, got my paint over pens. This is the neutral palette, I believe. Yeah, the neutral palette for Jane Davenport. Because I want to go for this sort of warm colors, I have in mind to paint like a daisy. And so, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Some of this I think I will fast forward through. Some of it I will talk to you a little bit about what I'm doing. But basically, you're just going to, oh, you know what I forgot? My watercolor brush. Hang on one second. So this is my watercolor brush I just got. It's a Princeton Select oval mop, and I'm loving it so far. So I need this. I need a watercolor brush for this idea. So you can see my journal page has little bits of washi tape on it already. That was left over from my mermaid. And I just wanted to I don't know. I don't mind that it's there. So I'm just going to add to it with these lovely colors. And here we go. Oh, look at that yellow. I love it. I love color. Bet you didn't know that. I think I will add also some orange over here. And sort of just lay it on my page. I'm going to do, I'm not sure where I'm going to draw yet, so I'm just going to lay color all over. Add in some more of that oranginess. My go-to color palette tends to be blues, but because I wanted to do sort of a daisy, I really wanted to just lay in some really warm yellows and beautiful colors. And let me see, I'm going to pick up a little bit of, let's see what the name of that color is. The color is Sand. It's really nice and soft, still warm, very warm. And yeah, I'm kind of just laying all my color in. All right, I'm going to speed this up for you. You'll be able to see. And all I'm going to do is continue laying color in. And then I'm just going to dry it. And then I'll come back. Okay, so my page is dry, or at least mostly dry. I'm loving the color. It looks really nice and soft, and there's a lot of variation, I feel like, in it. I think it's going to make some really beautiful flowers. So I'm going to set aside my watercolors for now. I think actually I'm finished with them for this particular project. And I'm going to show you the flower that I want to draw. Now, with Little Raven Ink, she recommended a book. Was it so many? I can't remember the name of the book now. It was like so many ways to paint a tulip and other floral illustrations, and I thought that sounded really cool. So I may have to get that book, but I don't have it right now. But I do have this sort of journal, creative idea journal from 2012, and I have this flower in here that I drew that I thought I really love this flower for some reason. I love this flower, and I love these sort of lollipop flowers that I drew in here. But I think what I want to do is use this particular flower kind of shape for this daisy. So I've got my Kiss Kiss Jane Davenport magic wand pencil. Yes. And the reason why I chose to use this color Kiss Kiss is because it sort of acts like a shadow. When you mix it with the yellow, its complement, it's going to make sort of a grayer color. It's going to act more like a shadow, and that's exactly the look I want to go for when I'm drawing my flower. It's going to kind of disappear in the end and blend in and look really nice, I think. So here we go. Where do I want to draw a flower? What I'm going to do for drawing my flower is, because I really like, oh, you know what? We can make this the center. So I want to make this sort of oval shape. That's what gives me sort of a guideline for drawing my petals. And then I'm going to just draw my petals out in these different directions. And some are going to be longer and shorter because some of them are coming toward me and some of them are going away. And I just turn my book or whatever piece of paper that I'm using in the direction that I need it to go so that I can draw the way I want to. So I think there's some sort of rule about that, but I don't really care about those kind of rules. So just drawing this in just like that. And I'm just going to shape up these petals a little bit more. I'm probably going to go in with ink before it's over with, but first I'm going to do this. And I just decided that washi would just be the center of my flower. I thought it would be cool looking. So, all right, there we go. And I may not use this in the end, but there, I want that. And then I'm just going to make another one over here. Maybe make this one a little smaller. This time I'll draw a circle or an oval in the center to make my center, and then draw more petals. Because, yeah, that's what I like to do. I like to draw this particular flower. And, you know, it may not be like super realistic, but I don't really care about that either. So, I care about having fun, enjoying the process, and just, yeah, really letting go when it comes to journaling and just making art in general. That's just the way I like to do it. So there's another one, and I want that kind of stem. You know, these stems may not even show up when I'm finished. I just don't know yet. And I think I want to make another one over here. Sort of a big one. And make a nice sketchy oval. And I'm just going to speed up through the rest of this process for you so that you can, yeah, just watch. Some scribbly marks there. There we go. Alright. So I decided to just pick up a Pitt pen. I think I've let my Jane Davenport Incredible pen run out of ink, and I need to change the ink cartridge, but I didn't want to do that right now, so I just picked up a Pitt pen. This is non-water soluble India ink, and I actually really love using it with lots of different techniques. And so here we go. Now, so the next thing that LIttleRavenInk did is she got out some acrylic paint and just had a fun time painting. So I have two different size brushes for my acrylic. I have my Jane Davenport brush, and I have just an inexpensive smaller brush so I can get it in those little nooks and crannies. I am actually going to wet my brushes, but I want them just to be barely damp. I want it to be kind of a dry technique. And I do not have the Jane Davenport paints yet, but I do have Prussian Blue from Grumbacher, which I really love. And I'm just using this extra, this is sort of just a, you know, piece of paper that I played on. And there we go. So this is a really nice deep blue. And so yeah, this is going to look amazing. Going to be amazing. So you can just color it in. You can just paint it in. You can see the texture on this paper, which is really cool. And I'm just using that edge to get in there. I love using big paintbrushes, so yeah. Alright, I'm just going to speed through this part. It's going to take me a few minutes to do. But I'm basically just going to outline all the flowers and sort of get sort of a sketchy thing going on the edge, I think. I may come back and do that solid, I don't know yet. But here we go. So I decided to paint in some little shapes, just sort of little rectangles kind of in for the color, just for there to be a little bit more color. And I'm going to go in with a stencil just because I think it'll be really cool looking. And just, I don't know, play around with the rest of the bottom of this page. So this is like super dark and this is not, and there's a little bit more. So that's what I'm going to do next with the acrylic paint, but I'm also going to then come back in and just add some details to my flowers. So this is actually one of my favorite stencils. I'm sure you've seen me use it before. I don't know what the name of it is. It is by Crafter's Workshop, that much I can tell you. And I may try and look that up, but for right now, I'm just going to use this. And I want to use, I think you can see there are some small shapes and then there are bigger shapes. And I want to use the small shapes just on the edges of my color here. And I am going to go ahead and use my paintbrush because I really don't care if it gets in between the lines and things like that. I don't want it to be like some sort of perfect kind of thing. I just want it to be just some random shapes in there, a hint of spaces. And yeah, so that's what I'm going to do here a little bit. Now let me look at it. I'm liking that, but it's a little bit too even, so I actually want to add in some more paint here. Maybe bring it down over here a little bit. I think you can see how really sketchy it looks, and that's exactly what I'm going for. Just to carry that color down. Okay, liking that. maybe a little bit more over here. But I do have like lights and darks and just a nice mix of color in there. Bring that, make that a bit darker over here. It's going to draw your eye in. I don't want anything to draw your eye away, so that is one reason why I'm doing it this way. All right, there we go. Now my flowers are not nearly as colorful as LIttleRavenInk's were. But you know, this is a learning process. I just enjoyed her tutorial, so I just wanted to try it myself. Okay, so I'm going to let the acrylic dry a little bit because I need to. Don't want it to be. All right, I'll be back. Okay, so my acrylic paint is dry. Now I'm just going to go in. I've got a paint over pen in Beach, which is kind of the same colors as the flowers and the background, and I'm really not happy with how I've got this really wide brush stroke. So I'm just going to use my paint over pen and kind of really clean that up. I don't want it to go way up there. So I'm just going to clean it up. And you can see I picked up some of that paint. It was probably wet. So let me just do this, and I'll do that in several layers. I just kind of want to just clean it up a little. Now I did get the color on my paint over pen, but you can see if I just color with it, it will just clean it right off. So there we go. Now I'm going to go back with my broad tip white unicorn. Unicorn. Now this is messy, but I kind of just want it to disappear kind of thing and just sort of be texture. Add some more little scribbles here and there. Tie it all together. There we go. This is going to be messy journal page, but that's perfect. That's exactly what I want. Okay, so my next idea now is to go in with my white Sharpie paint pen. Oh, this one is the broad tip. I need my skinny tip. So this is a better tip for what I want to do. Making sure that's flowing, and I'm just going to go in. Just add some sketchiness to these petals. And you can see I'm not worried about going over the blue or the white or whatever. It just kind of makes So decided I'm going to go back in with my watercolors a little and just add a little bit more sort of depth of color kind of thing to my Daisies here. I may disturb that Sharpie just a little bit, but I really don't care. Just for fun, right? I'm just doing this because I love it. I'm not doing this because it has to be some amazing, fanciful thing. I just want it to be something that I love, and I hope that you enjoy it too. And I'm really excited about this technique that I learned from LIttleRavenInk. So I'll just add in some white watercolor mixed with a tiny bit of that yellow, and just see how that happens. All right. And then I wanted to make a little bit of a green to give the idea of a leaf. Yes, I have a ton of paint there in my thing, but I'm just going to do this. I mixed all of that just so I could do this. Yeah, I know. I should have just let the yellow and blue mix on my paper, and then would have had a nice little shape there. And I don't even have to have green to make a leaf, right? You could do it any color you want. Just dab that out a little bit. I just want the idea of it. I don't want it to be like dominant. So I'm going to add a little bit of more of the blue because I want to tie it into that background. And a little more dabbing. All right, there we go. That's it. I just want just a hint, and I'm going to let that dry. And oh, you know what? I just figured out. I know what I need. Okay. This is my process, guys. Sorry. This is just the way my brain just goes off in these crazy directions. Now, I still have my purple. What color do I want? I've got some white on there. What if, oh, of course, 70s eyeshadow would be perfect. I mean, what other color could you ask for? I don't know if this is going to show up very much like on your screen there. I'm just going to add in some lines going out and my petals. And I'm just being very scribbly today, you can see, but that's just, this sort of lends itself to that idea of scribbling and making marks and just enjoying the process. And of course, the pencils are the wax-based colored pencils, so they're not going to move if I add more watercolor or anything like that. Okay, so I think now what I need to do is I'm going to get my black Sharpie paint pen. There we go. And I'm just going to do a little bit of mark making in the center here. Mostly on one side, but a little tiny bit on the other. And just adding in, just, I don't know, this is just a little bit of like texture and that sort of thing. I can even do it over here where I have the washi tape. I'm not going to be able to tell really that that's a mermaid by the time I finish, but I will know that it's there. And so will you, because you saw this video. Again, just some little dots and squiggles just to bring that out. And then I'm going to do my white Sharpie paint, and I'm going to do kind of the same thing in the center. I'm going to add more on the top section so that like it's catching the light. And this Sharpie the white especially may pick up a little bit of the color. That's perfectly fine. And I'm trying to be careful not to get into the black too much. And again, just a little bit more scribbliness. What do you think, guys? Now that watercolor is mostly dry, I can kind of go back over that. Just want that to be just a scribbly mess right there. Okay, so I am actually loving this page, and that tells me it is time to stop. I'm only going to do one more thing because I can never help myself. And that is I'm going to do some splatters. And I really don't care where they go. I love this Stress splatter brush. It's fabulous. See this? Makes some great splatters. So I'm just going to, I've got my Sharpie, which is the acrylic paint. That way it'll be more opaque. Spritz it with water just a little bit. And dab it in. And I just want to do kind of, let me just do this. Around the flowers a little. And it almost looks like a night sky. Oh, look. Isn't that fabulous? Pick up a little bit more. Oh, I can't do anything else. I love this. Okay. So if you wanted to journal on a page like this, there's certainly plenty of room to do that. Or you could add an insert, a tip in, I think that's what it's called. So I hope that you've enjoyed this little experiment, really is what it is. And thank you so much, LittleRavenInk, for sharing your technique. I really love this technique. I'm going to be doing it more. And I'm going to maybe be trying it with different things. You suggested that you can do animals and things, and I may try that. But for now, I'm going to do the flowers. I'm getting that book you recommended. So thanks. And everybody go and check out LittleRavenInk's page. Her YouTube channel is great. I love it. And so thank you so much for joining me. And I will see you soon. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, to like, hit that thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel. And if you click the little bell, you'll know exactly when I put up new videos. So thank you so much.